welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. As soon as we start this program, you could pick up your telephone, call 442-0175 and punch. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything. You could determine what we speak about. We'll break in the middle of a sentence and take your call. Politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, sex, any issue you want to speak about, we do. We must continue to exchange ideas and make our suggestions. We have to remember our opinions are not necessarily facts. It's not facts, it's opinions. That is why, based upon what you have to do, you seek professional opinion. And it's for the general view, and we express our opinion. If you present new information, we're changing even the opinion that we express. Once we convince that the information you have is correct. Give us a call. The number to call is 442-0175. Yesterday we were discussing the issue and we presented the topic that we have the ability in Grenada to make the changes, to address the challenges that we have. You have to believe that. When you get up in the morning, you want to be positive or very positive. And you must believe that I can address the challenges that affect me. As individual, we must believe that. As a family, we must believe that. As a community, we must believe that. And as the government, we must believe that. The government must always remember that they are not representing a particular group in the country. They're representing everybody. Yes, scholar, tell us. Scholar. Yes, scholar, go right ahead. The gadget in the back, please cut it down and go ahead.
Yeah. Marketing board concern. You remember that the government, the federal government was paying $1 million every month to satisfy the $1 million for workers and this and that. If you have a business and you don't make it, what you going to do? Tell me what you're going to do. If you have a business, like you have a rum shop, you have a business, like you have a hotel, and you're not making money, you have to take out of your pocket to pay. What you going to do?
That is a very important question. Caller, I want to answer you, but stay on the line a while. Right? Don't go.
Yeah.
And the radio in the back is making too much noise. So it's giving us a feedback. If you are a private person and you have a business, the radio in the back. Caller, I'll answer you off the line. Take him out. I'll answer you off the line. Caller, if you have a private business, it's different from if government have a business. Somebody might say the mental institute is not making money, so close it down. The police is not making money, so close it down. The education system in Grenada, on paper, if it was a business, you'd not be making money because 70% of the children that exit school cannot meet the minimum requirement. It means that those in education is unproductive. But there's agriculture color. The countries that does the best in agriculture, less than 10% of the people involved in agriculture, and it is highly subsidized. The United States of America, I want you to listen to this one. The great United States of America is subsidizing the farmers. They are paying farmers to leave the land empty. They are buying dairy animals from farmers and slaughter it if they have too much production. So they're paying farmers, don't produce, leave the line idle. So in terms of marketing board, why we have marketing board? Marketing board was instituted first in the days of Eric Gary. The M wasn't there. To help to stabilize price, to control price. So sugar, flour, milk. They say if we bring in this thing under control, we're able to maintain the cost of living. The revolution come with the same legislation. They add the M, marketing. Because in socialist countries, they don't encourage private sector. So they bring in the M. In Guyana, everything was Guyman, Gaisuko. Even stores in Guyana was taken over by government. So you have marketing board. Now, marketing board supposed to market the farmers thing, and the hope is that they market outside Grenada. But they develop a method to market also internally by creating supermarkets and etc. So even if marketing board is not profitable, and government is putting $1 million in marketing board every month, marketing board was worth keeping while you try to manage it properly so you reduce the sum that you put in it. Remember, you have $1 million in marketing board, but marketing board might have 40 or 50 workers. And the farmers had a place to sell. And the government of Grenada instructed marketing board to buy the farmers' product during the crisis, although it was difficult for marketing board to sell the product. Imagine marketing board bought pumpkin from farmers and was selling it at $1 a pound. Marketing board bought ginger from farmers. And sometimes the ginger stay and spoil. Because the idea was, government is subsidizing this entity. But we can't let the farmers collapse. We can't let the farmers starve. So that is an incentive. Caller, you remember the great United States of America subsidized big companies. Millions and millions of dollars was placed in big companies based on the number of people they employ. You see, what we have is some neophyte political leaders. They don't have sense. They don't have economic sense. They say them is done, but afraid. What I needed to do was to improve the marketing, the management of marketing board. And even farmers will point out some things that could have been done rather than try to kill marketing board. When you close down marketing board, my brother, which other entity that buy the farmers' goods? So farmers now have to fight to hustle. It become a doggy dog. Farmers have to go and try to hustle in the market. And farmers, once they don't have a market, they will not produce. Now the hotels and the companies, they like that. Because they could bring in this thing cheaper from outside. Cabbage could be brought in cheaper. Lettuce, carrot could be brought in cheaper from outside. So government have a responsibility, an obligation, and a duty to protect agriculture like a baby. Color, Israel is a good example in the world for small people. Rock. When they bring the Israelis here in the 70s, they say you don't need us. We work with rock. You have soil. If you wish hard, it could grow. Now we have marketing board wasn't investing in issues where we had market for, like cocoa, nutmeg. Marketing board not involved. Marketing board was involved in perishable goods. You take these perishable goods and put it in a presentable form and sell it in marketing board in supermarkets. How much people was employed in marketing board supermarkets? What the government has done was to close down an area where they're subsidizing it and put a number of people out of a source of income. This doesn't make sense. St. Lucia is expanding its marketing board into supermarkets. The government behave as if marketing board do them something. So they come around and decide to get rid of marketing board at all costs. The manager of marketing board, the chairman of the board had suggestions. And the chairman of the board was a businessman. He had suggestions in ways we could turn around marketing board. But the government didn't care about that. Government had to subsidize marketing board. Not if or but. In the same way the Caribbean had to subsidize Liat. You don't close down Liat because he wasn't making money. You look at the multiplying effect of Liat. Liat was the one still that bringing the most passengers into the Caribbean, intra-Caribbean. You don't close it down. You don't close down the police station because you don't solve crime. You don't close down the Ministry of Education. You don't close down the Ministry of Social Affairs. Marketing board was a hope for farmers. What you do, you strengthen the management. You could even privatize the management. You could say, okay, government workers are not working, the people we put, they're not doing it. Kenny Lalsin, you're a successful businessman. We want to put you to manage marketing board. And you tell him what money we will give you. We are subsidizing this place $1 million a year. We want to drop that significantly. If you could, $1 million a month, if you could drop it under 500,000 in 3 months, we will start to pay you 100,000 a month. You could privatize the management of the board. Caller, John Compton say the University of the West Indies has not done justice to agriculture. He said we worse off than the days of Pharaoh. He said because in the days of Pharaoh, we had the bullocks and the cart. We fighting with the hoe and spade. Daddy Wayne, you could have called Daddy Wayne in Grenville, Ramdani. Any businessman say we have trouble managing that. Let us give you a deal. We subsidizing it by $1 million a month. That is too much. If you could show us, and in practicality, actually do it, how we could drop that subsidy in the next 6 months to $300,000, we give you $100,000 a month. That just $400,000. What happened to us, scholar? We have a lot of people that come from university with certificate, but they don't. They can't manage nothing. So they're walking around with a book with theory and they lack practicality. Which university Ramdani going? And I ain't talking about those Ramdani children here. The old one, Bola, El Apostle, all these individuals, McIntyre and them, Kenny Lalsin. Which university they go in? But these men were involved in business from day one. So the government did not have to close down marketing board. What the government had to do was to privatize the management of marketing board with conditionalities. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. We lost that caller. You must subsidize agriculture. If New Zealand could have sold snow. Yes, caller, welcome. Caller.
Mr. Pierre.
Go right ahead, brother.
Mr. Pierre, I hear you talking about all the suggestion. What you could do and what you could do and what you couldn't do. Mr. Pierre, you had 9 years to do it and you do nothing. Instead you destroy it. What you come and talking about? You destroy marketing board. When marketing board when they come in for $15 million in a raise, what you do with the money? That the money you got to invest and do all the things about it. But do nothing more than destroy. And now you're coming and praying. So you make me talk with this thing. You have a good day.
Thank you, Caller. Caller, you didn't listen what I say. So I'm trying to say it again in a little synopsis. Government have to subsidize agriculture. Government subsidizing cocoa. I want to even know the government of Grenada is subsidizing cocoa. Government of Grenada is subsidizing nutmeg. Government of Grenada is subsidizing sauersup. Government provide a free extension service, and that is a subsidy. When government fix the road in the agricultural belt, the hope is by fixing the road, we have greater accessibility and farmers go make more money. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, I in full support of you this afternoon with all the topics that you raised so far. The marketing board, the manager had a meeting, a seminar in Spice Basket. And when I listened to the plans that the manager had for the marketing board and the amount of money tell us that the marketing board could make, I was so excited that I see the marketing board going to make a lot of money now. I was glad because I said this seems to be the best manager that I can get for the marketing board. His ideas was touching the sky, real good ideas. And I really thought marketing board was taking off to move now. And many farmers who was there thought so too. The gentleman was good, real good, with the plans that he had for marketing board. Shortly after that, we hear marketing board start going down and down and down. They're buying sugar, they can't pay for sugar. They're bringing in sugar finish, we can't pay for it, and whatnot. And I realized that a mistake was making. And the NMP stayed there and allowed that man to make a lot of mistakes. And when they couldn't take more, an inquiry was set into it. And it was proved that marketing board was poorly managed. And this NDC coming power, and they decided they were going to do things different. And the manager, the Prime Minister had a meeting with us in the Anglican school. And he asking farmers the idea. And the 99% of farmers give the idea that they shouldn't close marketing board. But how you could restructure it. And a few weeks after that, what we heard is that marketing board closed. And they see that it owed in debt of 15 million.
15 million is small money.
They set up a committee.
What was the assets?
I can't remember.
That's very important.
But they set up a committee, and the chairman of the committee advised the Prime Minister way to go. And what we heard is that marketing board closed down.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm saying, what this gentleman just talked about day in years, how much years? It failed under NMP.
You see, it's not
under
Colin, no. It didn't fail. When marketing board was designed, it was designed to support the farmer. You could subsidize marketing board to eternity. Nothing is wrong with government subsidizing.
I don't have a problem that they subsidize marketing board. I'm not saying that it should not be subsidized. I agree with you that it should be subsidized. And I agree with you that all other institutes get subsidies.
All over the Caribbean, they're subsidizing this thing.
Other institutes get. That's why I am not against that. All I'm saying is that it failed. And the
marketing board did not fail.
Well, in my opinion, it failed.
All right, okay,
thank
you.
And when the NDC take over, it still failed under them again.
Okay.
That's as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Marketing board at present is not doing better.
All right.
And they have not. The Prime Minister said that he's going to pay out all who they owe, and they have not paid. So they're not in a better position now.
Okay.
So as I'm concerned, both of them failed.
All right, thank you.
And as far as that concerned, giving monies to institute, I don't have a problem with that. All governments do that, give the money to institute and whatnot. All the schools in Grenada, the government can control all the schools to that extent. They pay all the teachers in the school, but all the schools in that government school.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
but the government responsible for paying teachers in all schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You see, that's why I always speak about policies. Because sometimes we is our worst enemy. You know? That's why I always speak about policy. There are certain actions that are taken to help your society. So when they introduced the Imani program, the main aim was we have too much of unemployed people without the skill set and the right attitude. They cannot get jobs on the job market. So they say, what we're going to do? We're going to create a program to alleviate, to help, to minimize, to contribute. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
I find this man has some personal thing about NMP. NMP do this man something?
Well, you have to remember, caller.
I find this man too regular now, but this man don't know what he's saying. What this man don't go and get? He don't have fuck and spade and cutlass for a man to go and cut land. Why you go and cut land? Why you only calling it? You have a 1 hour. Every day this man calling to block everybody from them. Go and cut land, mister.
All right, thank you.
And leave NMP alone.
Thank you, caller.
All right.
Caller, we have to be tolerant as a people. Democracy provides the opportunity for people to express themselves. The gentleman is expressing himself. You may not agree with him, but he called in a very short space of time. He said what he have to say. I may not necessarily agree with him, but his right to speak must be preserved. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Yeah, I like the interruption. I like it. Although the gentleman may not have no facts, but still, he's making an effort to welcome that. Mr. Pierre, I could remember you said on several occasions that this government went in a room and they planned lies. But what they did not do, they did not plan, had no special plan how to govern the country. That's what happened. And they believe they could come and rule by lies, which I know you're going to backfire on, and it started already. I am saying right now, we are living in a failed state, and I echo the sentiments of the Prime Minister. You don't have the tip, but I comment. He said so. I don't know if some of his supporters listen. He said once a government cannot deliver on its promises properly, you become a failed state.
The Prime Minister don't know what he's speaking about. What the Prime Minister is saying is sheer nonsense. What he mean by that when he say a failed state? You see, we could always say things that looking nice. Grenada, the kind of track record we have in Grenada, electricity, telephone, water, and internet is second to none. Is better than most and comparable with the best. We have the best network of roads in the Caribbean, and the quality of roads is good. We had a stalwart for leadership in Grenada, Dr. Kit Mitchell, the best in the Commonwealth. We have this gentleman from Gov, how you call his name again? The one in the Olympic that making marks. The last Olympic, Grenada had 6 people in the Olympic, and in one race they had 2 persons, perhaps more than India, with a massive population. We're not a failed state. We have over 500 soca artists where the lyrics is what, but they're causing people to whine and endain themselves. We're not a failed state. What we have is a bad government that could cause the government to go in free fall and start to sell property to meet current expenditure. We have one of the most democratic countries in the world, maybe more than 20 radio stations, 30, but you have some that are operating. About 20 radio stations operating. And we have social media galore to express ourselves. Our teacher to children ratio is about 1 to 15 or 20. And more than 20% of our teachers drive themselves to school. We have over 50,000 registered vehicles in 110,000 people. And over 40,000 landowners. What we lack is initiative. The Prime Minister is a political quack. For him to say we live in about failed state, he is a political quack. What he is doing is undermining the very fabric and the fracture in the society. But Grenada is not a failed state. I don't agree with him.
Well, I don't know where you're speaking.
He word open, mouth open, and word jump out. Not because he's the Prime Minister.
He implemented $77 million to victimize people. All this thing.
When he started the MIT, there is no need for MIT. The Ministry of MIT, the M is for mobilization. It's not a one-party state. It's not a socialist or Marxist Leninist country. Every ministry have an information department. There is no need for mobilization. That is for political mischief. The Prime Minister is wrong.
A revolutionary government would normally have this ministry. I didn't know we as a democratic country would have rushed into that.
And during the revolution, you had people hunting down who is counter-revolutionary. We can't get Gabe, but Leslie is the brother. That is what they was used for. So there is no need for that now. So what the government is doing is to turn back the hand of the clock. The Prime Minister is a political quack. He dabbles in the occult. And he have his members plunder in the GDB bank. That is wrong. And it's not even in his political interest. All look, I don't know how that could be in the NDC political interest. Now the Prime Minister casts a shadow over him. We asking him, and he don't know how to answer that yet, you know. What is involved in the gracious offer? What quantum? What quantum is involved in the gracious offer? Only because he's a political quack, he end up in this dilemma. Yes, caller. Thank you.
Like the interaction, I just want the caller to have his facts right, but it's good as he taking part in.
When you do on the radio, is remember, a lot of rumors is running wild. The government is not answering questions. So it's difficult to get information. And some members who support the government, they have a right to try to put up a defense. Because it's difficult for them. But you have to be tolerant. We have to be tolerant as a people to dissenting views. When we are in the rum shop, we can't throw out no rummers, particularly if you buy rum. You listen to what they say and you argue with them. So when we're on this program, we ain't throwing out nobody. We listen to what they say. And once they won't cause us to be financially embarrassed, we're entertaining them. Yes, caller, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, we in a country, our people have to respect the democratic process. Remember, the telecommunication network was liberalized under Kit Mitchell and the NNP. And why they liberalize it? So people would have more freedom of expression. The leaders in Grenada that was criticized the most in history, post-1983. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good day.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah. Do you think that the government will answer that question, what is the gracious offer? Because
they must answer.
He's saying that I'm glad to keep ponging so people wouldn't forget that.
The government must
answer.
answer.
The money wasn't theirs.
You have some question.
Yeah.
You have some.
And the $100 million what they bought from Saudi Arabia. What they bought from Saudi Arabia. Do you have any idea who that money spent and where that money is?
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to know the $100 million that money you bought from Saudi Arabia, and up to today, I don't hear where that money spent, what work, what not. So I don't know if that money helped in pay salary. I don't know what so we need accountability, and that's why they promise us accountability before they come in. So we need that. We need accountability. Take care, Mr. Pierre.
The government must answer us. When I say they must answer us, they may not answer the talk show artists on the radio, but they're going to have to answer the children when they ask them. They're going to have to answer the president of the Bar Association, the trade union leaders, and other CBI group. You see, if these organizations can get answer from them, these organization professionalism will be in question. It would seem that they're in collaboration with corruption, and the significance of their organization going to be seriously diluted. You can be the president of a bar association in Grenada and government declare restorative justice, and you're afraid to tell us what that means. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hello, Mr. Good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
And then the party don't man at mash up. We can go back in poor man. The party mash up.
Why you say that? Okay, thank you, caller. You have two political parties in Grenada, just two. The NDC and the NNP. The NNP is the only political entity in Grenada that have won election on 3 occasions, winning all the seats. So if they lose election and they have 5 seats, and somebody say they mash up and they can't come back, well, that don't really looking on book, on paper, that don't make much sense. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes, my brother.
I listen to you here talk about restoration justice. Let me tell you why it's restoration justice.
Go right ahead, man. You see a coming to come. You is the first man that tried to explain that to me. Tell me.
When you're speaking of restoration justice, when the NMP government took the salary from the people, it's the restoration justice to put it. When they refuse to pay the pension, it's the restoration justice. Mr. Pierre. When the NMP worked them people in this country for 9.4 years for $40, it's the restoration justice they get involved. That is restoration justice. So they work 6 years, so they go, that is restoration justice with the crowd. So you have a good day, Mr. Pierre.
Kala, I think you're better than Deacon, you know. I must give you some marks. At least you make some attempt to answer, and I highly appreciate. Deacon could take the lead from you now. So you open my door for Deacon to make an excuse. He know people won't accept that, but he must make an excuse. So that is why my attention would no longer be on Deacon to answer the question. I'll ask the president of the Bar Association, the Grenada trade union leaders, student that is studying in school, Form 5 and Form 6 and Form 3, and children that are doing common entrance in primary school, I'm going to ask them, why you think so? Because this restorative justice is not a common term used by the ordinary man. This term are used by lawyers frequently in mediation and etc., and also by psychologists, socialists, social scientists, and clinical psychologists. So it is not a term that is used by the ordinary man with regularity. But Deacon is a lawyer. So Deacon is well familiar with the term. And the context in which he used the term. They asked him about transformation. And he said, We campaign on a policy of transformation. He laughed. But it is not so much transformation. It is restorative justice. And he set up MIT. And MIT is for political mischief. Yes, scholar, welcome. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah.
Restorative justice means that all that he wanted, he couldn't get it all the time. So now he taking everything, like the money that they take from the bank, like all the wickedness they're doing. That is restorative justice. They're restoring all what they thought they should have gotten. So now they reach there, they're taking it back. That is what is restorative justice. It's not like they're doing anything good. What they're doing is for their own self. The privileges, you know, here he say the first NDC had power, but they know how to use it. So what it means now is that he has the power, he knows how to use it, so he's taking back all. NNP was there for 10 years. So he feel he lose something in the 10 years. So he's going to take back everything that he thought was belonging to him. That is the restorative justice. With mischief. That is it.
Yes, scholar. Political vengeance. That's why you have the hatchet man in Karaku. He hatchet man going around firing people who he has any issue with. They remove $150 from the elderly. Physically challenge people and disadvantage children. And then to add insult to injury, the language of these individuals is fractious, demeaning, dismissive, and extremely insulting. And only a political quack would do such a thing like that. It means that you don't understand, in a small environment, where to some extent all of us are families, whether biological, as a result of in-law, through religious group, political organization, or rum shop association. All of us is one. For you to come in now and try to create unnecessary fracture, you want to bulldoze those individuals that have a little hut by the road, hustling. You want to get rid of them. And even the trade union leader is appealing to government for the head of some individuals that don't support them. You show gross insensitivity, lack of understanding from agriculture, from marketing board workers. And everybody jump. A lot of people say marketing board are making sense. What's about the tractors in Maribo? Not the old ones, not those that done good. The government cut up good vehicles in Maribo and put it in the scrapyard and ask them why is it they're going after the farmers that using the water from Maribo. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes.
How are you today?
Great, man.
Yes. Well, that last scholar called there, I support him a lot, but we Grenadians should expect what Deacon Mitchell coming.
But we really thought he'd be a little better.
What he have in store for us. Since during the campaign, the man say he's going to change Grenada, he's coming to change Grenada. And we heard him speaking about Pitimatnik, Karikou, and Grenada. So we Grenadians should expect what he coming with. But I have to say we didn't expect you to have come so harsh and so fast. But we should have our head on and to know what he coming with. Because he want to change. You see, come and he changing everything. Because the others, as the man say, he said, they had the power in the hand and they didn't know how to use it. But he get the power, so he using it and he abusing it. And he trying to bring down Grenada down to nothing. And that is his very wicked and mischievous. I don't know how to style him. But God is in control over everything. God is in control. God put up and he put down. Man don't do it on the own. Everything is God. God in the making. So, them old people have a word saying, moon run, he run, he run. But daylight still hold moon.
Daylight
moon,
must catch up with it.
Daylight catch up with moon. Yeah. So let him go ahead. Yeah. Let him feel he is his own God. And no other God besides he. Because as though he don't even believe in God. Because if he believed in God, he would not have
dabbled with the occult.
Yes, he deported.
Everybody singing, may his soul rest in peace. What you going to interfere with people's soul for?
Ask me. And the next thing I want to talk about is these young people and them, I have to say these young men and them, that having this big song box hanging out in the vehicle. I can saying disrespecting people, I have to say, in whether night or day with this heavy song, or they say they play in the night and day with a song box hanging outside the vehicle, and it's a boom, 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 boom. Sometimes when I live in here, when you hear the vehicle and them passing thing there, it's shaking the galvanized on my house. It's shaking the galvanized on the house. I find they should have more respect, especially sometimes you have sick people around, you have elderlies around, I'm an elderly, and you have babies around, you have things. I find the government should put some kind of a structure in place for this kind of a thing and this loud. If you're in a party, well, you're in a party, you respect it. But just for nothing, you're running up and down the road with this thing of boom, 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 boom. Sometimes you're in your house doing something, you can't even hear your ears. You can't hear what's going on. No, I find something should be in thing for this. All right, you have a blessed day. God bless you.
Well, I had a little youth in Chicolo that running around like that, and I spoke to his girlfriend and spoke to her, and she encouraged him to cut it off, and he cut it off. So I think parents of these young men who have this boom boom and a girlfriend is the best people to order them to cut it out. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Francis.
Yes, my brother.
Who is representing NNP in St. Patrick's East constituency?
St. Patrick East, I don't know. That St. Patrick East is my brother Cornwall?
Yes.
I don't think they'd have anybody representing him there. You know, nobody won the election. So how political parties run, when you don't have an election, they might have a take a wrong election for the party. But I don't think they have anybody there.
You are the caretaker?
If I am the caretaker? No, I'm not a member of any political party.
Mr. Francis?
Yeah.
I give you an assignment 2 years ago to find out why cable and wireless or Flow not paying dividends from investment. We bought out our shares.
I think the cable and wireless just abandoned them people. And there seems to be no authority to manage them. They change the name to Flow, they trick them people, and they take the money.
Anything.
They trick the shareholders and they take the money.
I spent thousands of dollars to buy shares. I can't get any.
Yes, a number of companies have done that. They trick the unsuspecting. And our lawyers was no help. And they take the money from them.
All right, so well.
Yes, these companies, I believe, trick the unsuspecting. They encourage them to buy shares, and eventually they sell the shares and they change the status. Because sometimes the fine print, we don't read the fine print. Just as how we didn't read NDC fine print. You know? Sometimes you get tricked by these companies. It's sad and it's unfortunate, but it happens. And particularly when our intelligentsia let us down. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Talk about restoration justice. Mr. Pierre, restoring the cooks and the maids and them in school. Like,
that restorative justice again.
That is restorative justice.
Okay.
That is restorative justice. So, Pierre, school children and them get to go to TMCC without paying. That is restorative justice, Mr. Pierre. Think about that.
And Carla, what's about those they took the money from and they had to leave school? That is restorative justice. What's about the elderly that take the money
That never happened.
Those that take the $150 from, that is restorative justice. You ever hear me talk about Shirley and Robinson?
$500. The $500 they get in. That is restorative justice.
Yes, Carla, you see. But I like your attempt at explaining it. And we want, since Deacon refused to give us a version, so we're asking the Bar Association and the trade union leaders, and we're asking children in school, come on, all you have phone, Google and ask question. The ministers like to come in the school, ask them, what is restorative justice and how we implement its practicality on the ground. Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, the radio in the back. You have to turn on the radio in the back. We have a delayed broadcast. Yeah? So please call us again. You there? Call us again, caller. Just please turn on the radio. I know sometimes other people want to hear you, but we get this feedback. You see, we're in a small country, and I constantly tell people that. And we have the experience of the revolution. And we saw what it had done to the country. It fractured the country. Over 3,000 people was put in prison in Grenada. Maurice Bishop treated the Rastafarians very badly. He singled out the village of Montreal and the surrounding areas for special treatment. The Tivoli and the Conference and the surrounding areas was seriously affected. 3,000 to 4,000 people was in prison, and a similar number had to leave the country. It fractured Grenada, and it resulted in low productivity. And that helped to contribute to the division that existed among Maurice Bishop. So if we continue with that, we become like a recurring decimal. But this time it could be worse. Because post-83, people did not ask for restorative justice. They say we are one people, let us forgive. So Kit Mitchell and the NNP established the Truth and Reconciliation Committee. Tell it as it is, let's forgive and move on. And there was some measure of success in it. So what justification? This Prime Minister, that nobody have done him wrong, or we don't know any wrong that anybody have done that. People have not even speak ill of him. The most criticized politicians in Grenada was Kit Mitchell, Gregory Bowen, Peter David, Emmeline Pierre, Miss Modeste, Mr. Steele, and the others. Yes, scholar, welcome. Yes, scholar, welcome. Nobody criticized this present NDC. So why is it, what is the justification? What reason, what rationale they have to introduce vengeance in our country? I believe this is unacceptable. I seek explanation. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, I find this scholar what's so against NNP people. I find he too regular. if his issue maker, let you go and see after his shoes. Perhaps he might getting more shoe to fix now than before. Because before people, when NNP was there, people could have buy a shoe more regular. But now when he boss, perhaps they might bring it, give him just to tack for them. So tell him go and walk on his shoes and forget NNP people.
Color, you notice I never try to find out people's name on the radio. I never do that because I like the message, but not too preoccupied with the messenger. Because sometimes when we try to identify people by their voice, sometimes we blame their brother. I've had this experience a lot of time, you know. I speak and our brother gets in trouble for it. So let us take it in good faith. Remember, it's Dr. Keith Mitchell that liberalized the telecommunication network to give people an opportunity to express themselves. And NNP must remember that the most criticized politicians in Grenada is NNP. And none of them have displayed this aggressive attitude. They could take criticism from Yolan Bain right up to Gregory Boyne. So the members of NNP must be prepared to be tolerant to criticism. Seek, when somebody asks, give me reason why, and listen to them. Because we ain't busy. So you could listen to somebody for 5-10 minutes and then counter. Because remember, tomorrow we have to walk on the same bus. We're going in the same funeral and the same happy hour. We cannot afford to hate one another. And that is why I'm so upset with the NDC for introducing restorative justice and MIT. You have to be a political quack to do that and don't understand the consequences that are likely to follow. What would happen if a next government come and do that? And you don't want a next government come and fire in people. You don't want that to happen. So the members have to be tolerant, accommodating. You could counter with the truth. You could always counter with the truth. And it's not easy. You can't defend the truth. When I speak, I want to speak the truth. And the truth stands. And it's difficult for anybody to take it on. But we have to continue. This country belongs to us. And we have to continue to express how we feel. And we want this government to change their attitude because the road they're going is not helpful for our country. It's causing a lot of people to be disenchanted. They lose confidence. They get frustrated. And their actions could contribute to violence. And we already see what is happening at this time. Yes, caller. Yeah, where this caller gone in? Yes. So we could only take one caller again after that. We already see what is happening. The government actions is contributing to serious problem. The government refused to answer question. Yes, caller. Go right ahead.
Afternoon, sir. Mr. Pierre?
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Great, man.
Yes, my little contribution today is this. What I personally think, I think that, okay, it's time for us to, we as a people, we too politically charged. Right? You there?
Yes, man. Go right ahead.
Yeah, we too politically charged. I mean, it's time then. I mean, it's time for us to just,
let go.
Put aside all political caps. And come together, sit down together in a forum in an atmosphere of peace and togetherness, and discuss ideas, discuss differences, put differences on the table and discuss it. I mean, after all these years, we still so separated and divided. Look, Mr. Pierre, if we don't careful, you know what will happen? You know what will happen to us? You see what happened in Rwanda? Between Hutus and Tutsis in about 8 months' time, over 800,000 people got killed. Something similar like that would happen. Trust me, and we're heading down that road. It might sound stupid, it might sound backward, but that's okay, right? But that's what I am seeing with this. From this Gary up till now, is at this side and at that side and at this one against this one. Where are we going with this thing? Where are we? What are we hoping to? What are we hoping to achieve? Where are we going with things? And it's just it's just A against B, you against me, and A against B, and C against Z, and Z against G, and we just feel comfortable. We just feel comfortable going down that road. At the end of the day, Mr. Pierre, I am telling you, this is what we're heading for, right? And going down that road very fast at the moment.
How do we start the process of reconciliation? The caller?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, is what the last gentleman that spoke. I welcome this statement. I agree with him fully. And that is why I always point out where I believe the government is fundamentally flawed. I don't bother about other small things. But some actions that the government is taking could cause fracture. The government have to change the language, how they speak in a dismissive manner about people. Now, if it's coming from party supporters, you could say it's individual. But when it comes from the hierarchy, from the ministers, you have to see it in a different light. So that is why I encourage the government to change their attitude, recognize we are one people, and the government, have to change their attitude. If you want cooperation, don't keep all the O on them for yourself. You have to give the other side a O. You have to speak with more respect. If you do, your supporters on the ground would be more militant. So you are the ones that have to have a language that is more accommodating, more respectful, more appears to be more genuine. And as we come to the end of our program, we want to remind people that we could change things. We may have to have discussion. And the best way to start to change is within yourself and your homes. Sit down and discuss the challenges you have at your home and come up with answers. It may be financial issues. It may be educational issues. You sit down, you hold discussion on it, you listen to the little children in the house too, they're part of it, and you come up with the answers to address your problems. If we could do it in our homes, maybe we could do it in the community, and the wider community would be benefiting from our initiative. Tomorrow we're back with you from 7 in the morning on the extension, and we will be with you on the extension, and On Target will be back on Monday. Thank you very much.